Hi again, this is Mike, the Philosopher Engineer. We're about ready to start a new week here, and so I need a new theme. And the theme of the week for this week is building our knowledge base. Last time we talked about making the best decisions. What is the best process to make good decisions? Well, we make good decisions based on our knowledge base. And so the question is, what is our knowledge base? We want to build on it, we want to use it. Especially if you're a technology company, but really any company has a knowledge base on which they run their business. In some cases, we really acknowledge that and maybe structure it. So my question is to think a little bit about that knowledge base and how do we use it. And I really start with three questions. What is it? What is that knowledge base for your company? The second one is, how do we manage that knowledge base? And the third one is really, how do we apply it? So if we have a knowledge base, whether it's kind of formal or informal, and whether it's really structured, and also how accessible it is. But those are really the three questions, is thinking about our knowledge base when we spend all this money on engineering and testing and analysis and design, even market research, all the parts of our business, we're learning things and we're developing a knowledge base. And then we're using that knowledge to make decisions and to make plans for our company. And if we do it all well, hopefully we have a lot of success and we have a good understanding of what the needs are. So that's what building our knowledge base is. And what I want to do is kind of ask you a question and maybe, request you use your imagination a little bit. We've all watched TV shows and movies like Star Trek, where you have a character like Spock, who has everything in his memories like a walking computer. So you can ask him any question, maybe about some past data, or to do a calculation or analysis, and instantly he has an answer. Or there's some, futuristic AI computer does the same thing. So all the information is captured somehow. That computer magically remembers it. You have a question about it. Maybe you even have, an analysis you want. Well, what if we doubled this or did this? Can you come back with an answer? Well, in some cases you can, but it starts with just that question. The question should be, if you could have your ideal scenario, your dream scenario, so that all that data, all that information analysis was available, snap of the finger instantly, what would that look like? You're in a conference room, there's a question that comes up and you want to be able to have an answer. Well, in some cases, we can go a lot further to that than maybe what you have today. If all that data is buried in binders, they're stored off in some remote place, you may have that data, but it's not very accessible. So there's really three questions that I have about the knowledge base. Well, first, do you have it? Or are you aware of it? So you need to save it. You need to capture it. The question is, how accessible is it? If it's very accessible, where you can literally have a question and someone can pull it up live, that's probably your best case scenario. If you can get it within a few hours or a few days, that's not too bad. You say, okay, well, in tomorrow's meeting, can you bring this data so we can go through it? That's fantastic. Is it reusable? So the information that we did on a previous project, is it made in such a way that it can be used again so we don't have to start all over again? So if it's reusable, that means we're getting more leverage out of that same engineering work or any work again. And is it modular? In some cases, you can do your work and figure out components or modules. And each of those modules could be reassembled in different ways and that same knowledge can be used. Now, today, the computers have gotten more and more powerful. When I started doing design products, and they first came out with CAD, where you would design on the computer, these were huge computers, and they were very difficult to use, and they weren't very powerful, and we were designing in 2 dimensions, and it required a mainframe. I mean, it was kind of ridiculous, and then it moved to workstations, etc. Now on your laptop, you have computer power that's unbelievable. And there are a lot of tools that can actually bring some of these things to life. And especially when we build models and simulations of our systems, we have a lot of tools that are available today where you can take your product and create a virtual version of it. And whether it's the mathematics or simulations, and you can go through design what-if scenarios real time. In many cases, you can do it real time if you think about it ahead of time. You structure your projects and your business that way. So the purpose of this week is to talk about that knowledge base and maybe make that a little bit more tangible and think about, where is it captured? Is it captured just in paper and binders, or is it captured in a computer program? Is it what they call a dead file or it's a living file? If it's a math program that still is operational, you can pull it up and modify it, you know, just like you could on an Excel data sheet. So think about Knowlege Base. We're spending a lot of money in our companies. Some of our companies are worth, you know, tens of millions or billions of dollars. And at the core of everything we do for our product development is a knowledge base. And the question is, how do we currently manage that knowledge base and utilize that knowledge base? And can we improve on that? And if we improve on that, what are the benefits? Can we be more responsive to our customers? Can we execute projects faster because we're not starting from scratch all the time and relearning the same lessons we already learned? I think so. That's what I'd like to talk with you about. So this week's topic will be building on a knowledge base. That knowledge base is kind of the core. That's like the precious crown jewels of your company. So anyways, hope you have a good week. I look forward to talking to you more. Thank you.